Hi, I'm Brianna, and I'm inviting you to my journey of becoming debt-free while living a normal life. I've already paid off about $35,000 since 2020, and now I'm going after the remainder $41,000 in a smarter way. I should be debt-free by the end of next year. Okay, so April has been a bit off for me, but I'm ready to switch things up. Since January of last year, I've tracked every single purchase I've made, which was great, but I wasn't prepared for a lot of things that came up this month. I had foot surgery, I owed a lot more in taxes than I thought, and in March, I found out that my cat needs at least one tooth pulled. So I just feel like I'm ready for something new to help me get a little more prepared for these things that are gonna happen in the future, because that's literally the most important thing, planning, being prepared. So I made my own planner with matching sheets. It's all cute and pretty, and I want to show you how I'm going to set it up. But first, let's go over how to make a basic budget for beginners. Okay, first, write down all of your known income that you will receive for 1 month. If it's variable, write down the worst case scenario. Then, write down all of your monthly recurring bills. These don't typically change in price. You may need to go through your statements to make sure that you have everything and that you're not forgetting something. These are things like rent, mortgage, water, gas and electric, debt payments, cable, subscriptions, car insurance, gym membership. Now, since my electric bill varies just like everybody else does, I like to plan a really high amount that I know that my bill will not be higher than that. So that's what I account for. And then whatever is extra, I put towards my number one priority, which right now is debt payoff. So then, how much do you have left over? You add up all of those bills for 1 month, and you should have money left over. If you don't, you need to find a way to get more income or cut down on your bills. Now, the next place that I like to go is look at my variable spending. These are things that you buy on a regular basis, but you may spend different amounts of money each time. Groceries, gas, pet items, household items, clothing, fun. It's always good to have a miscellaneous category as a backup just in case you forget something or you buy more than you normally do, so you have that money as backup. For these categories, I like to use cash because it helps me stay within my planned budget. I tried to use my credit card to get reward points, but realistically, I just don't always pay it off. And then I'm playing catch up, paying off things from last month, and then I just feel like my budget's not really accurate. So now, add that all up. What do you have left? Now, here's the fun part. All that's left to be accounted for typically are sinking funds, savings, and debt. This is where you really get to personalize where you want that money to go that is left over each month. I like to have one main priority that I work on and then some smaller goals. Now, you can either put a larger amount that you specify to your main priority and then divide up the rest, or go the other way around. I like to go the other way around. So my number one goal is debt payoff. My smaller goals are savings and sinking funds. So to make sure that they don't get kind of forgotten about, I like to start with the smaller goals and get a minimum amount that I need for all of them. And then anything that's left over will go towards my debt. For savings, every month I put away $84 for emergency funds. That equals $1,000 a year. If you've never heard of sinking funds, they're just money that you put away for future expenses that you know will happen, but they don't necessarily happen very often. My sinking funds are 6-month phone plan with Mint Mobile, 6 months of flea and tick, 6 months of car insurance, pet medical, holidays, birthdays, and car maintenance. Other examples are property taxes, regular taxes if you think you may owe, clothing, co-pays, vacation, things like that. In order to calculate how much you need for your sinking funds, first look at your goal amount for each sinking fund and your goal end date. So the things that I have that actually need them by a certain date, 6-month car insurance, 6 months flea and tick, and then a 6-month phone plan, I can easily calculate. Something is due in May, I have $300, I need $350. So I know that I need $25 in April and $25 in May. The other ones, like pet medical, holidays and birthdays, car maintenance, those are just kind of like small backup, little chunks of money in case I need it. So I'll contribute a little bit each month or each week, and I'll have a goal, but that goal can change and the goal date can change. The other ones are very specific, and I need to have a certain amount in them because I need to be ready for when the bill comes. So now that I've calculated all of my monthly bills, my variable expenses, my sinking funds, and my savings, all that's left is my number one priority, debt payoff. So everything that's left will go towards that. If I have overtime, that will go towards my number one priority because technically everything else is taken care of. Now, things always come up, and that's just life. And now I know that I have wiggle room. If something does come up, I can pay less towards my number one priority because other things are taken care of. The important things that I know that I have to pay each month or every other month. You have to plan and be prepared so you don't get into more debt, because that's just the worst thing. And I've done it so many times, and I'm learning my lesson that it's just not the way. You need to have more backup money, and you can't put every single penny that you have towards debt without that backup money. You're setting yourself up for failure. By the way, if you feel like you learned something or got just a little motivation from this video, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Now, I know that budgeting for some people can be really boring and sort of like a chore that they just keep putting off. I like to use certain things to make it a little more fun for me. I like pretty cash envelopes for my variable spending, and I also like debt trackers to color in and savings trackers to color in. I do have an Etsy shop, so everything that you see in this video is available. I'm constantly working on new little projects. It's honestly a hobby. I'm aware that people I talk to think it's a little strange, but I don't care. Okay, so here's my planner. I printed the cover sheet on 65-pound cardstock in white. And then I want the first page after that to be related to my number one priority. It's something that I want to keep looking at and keep coming back to. So then after that is everything related to just basic planning for my budget. I have a debt layout just so I can put down everything where I'm at right now. This is a new starting point for me. And then after that, I have savings goals. This will have my emergency savings, my buffer, and then also my sinking funds, because those are all things that have goal amounts and goal dates. And then I have a bill tracker. So then I can, write down every bill, check off, make sure I've paid it every month, just to make sure I don't forget anything. We don't want any late payments, don't need that. And then a subscription tracker. And then I have a monthly calendar. Anything that I will spend money goes on that calendar. Any appointment, any bill, any social event, grocery shopping. Anytime that I'm taking out money, I'm going to write it on that calendar just so I can be prepared. I have a monthly budget sheet so I can write down everything that's due for the month. I will write down the due dates. I'll check it off as it clears in my account. I will just fill out the budget column because sometimes, of course, you spend more than you wanted to, or something was not as much as you thought it would be. So then as the month goes along, I'll fill out the actual column and then I'll total it up. And at the end, whatever I have left, I should already know where I'm going to put that. And then after, I have the same thing, but per paycheck. So if I look back and see when the due dates were, I can plan it out and see what bills I want to pay with which paychecks and have my whole month mapped out right in front of me. And now here's my favorite part. So this is comparing how well you're doing with your debt progress. I wrote down all of my initial starting debts and their amounts. And, you know, it's like I'm starting over right now. And then each month, I'm going to fill out this debt progress worksheet, and I'm going to write down how many months I've been working at it, all of my updated balances, my new monthly minimums, the total beginning debt will be calculated over from the left, and then this month will be calculated right here. And then over here, you can see your progress money-wise, how much you've paid off completely, and then also percentage-wise. Say, you know, 6 months down the road, wow, I've paid off 20% of my total debt. This is awesome. So that's really exciting. And then I've got some trackers. I created this cute one for my overall debt because I like to see that as well, instead of just looking at one debt and seeing my student loans go down. You know, yeah, that's great, but in the end, really my goal is to be completely debt free. So watching this chart get filled up is really, really nice. And then at the end, I have my savings section. As you see, I'm getting pretty close to getting all of the vet money that I plan to have for middle of May. My cat has an appointment. And then I just have my goals written down again and some note sheets, because I'm always, you know, jotting things down, and things come up, things change. But this is my planner, and I love it so much. And I'm creating a whole bunch more. I've got all of these different patterns, and I just haven't put them on Etsy yet, but I'm really excited to share them with you guys. Now, if you made it this far, I hope that you learned something. I hope that you'll stick around. I've got a lot more things that I want to share with you guys. I want to learn from you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.